Okay, so now we have that beam, the set of beams that are all put together. And so what we want to do is actually come here and create a rectangle that we can offset so we can create the top part of the trellis for so it could support kind of another pattern on top. So let's go ahead and create a bounding box around it. So let's go ahead once again to box, and we'll take all those beams, plug them right in. And so what we want to do is we want to take this box that we just created, and we want to deconstruct it just so we can select the top plane here and use that as our jumping off point for creating the curve that we can now then upset. So let's deconstruct the B-rep, and this is going to give us the ability to take this box and basically explode it into the different faces, edges, and vertices. And I can go ahead and hide this box, and you'll see that we have 6 faces, we have 12 edges, and we have 8 vertices. And so let's go ahead and select one of the faces. And the way to do that is we go to list item. So let's go to list item. And list item will give you the ability to pick just one of those faces. So let's plug in and see which face it's gonna pick. Now I'm gonna take this one and hide it, so then I can see which one of the faces I'm selecting, because if I keep it previewed, then it's a little bit tricky to see, which one it is that I'm selecting. So I'm gonna go ahead and unpreview it, and the list, so the 6 faces, it's only gonna pick one, and the index of 0, it actually picks this back one. So if I were to come here and pick a slider and make, let's say, a slider of 3, we can actually sift through all of the different planes until we get the one that we want. So we want the top one, and that's the 4th one if we have the list arranged the way that it is originally. But if we actually go to 0, which is the default, it picks this side one. But if we go to the list and we reverse the complete order of the list of the 6 faces that we have, it gives us a different result. We see that actually one of the last faces is actually the one that we want. So if we reverse it, we leave it at 0, we don't even need a slider because we have selected the one that we wanted. Now that's extracted from this rectangle here. And so every time this extrusion moves up, this box that surrounds that entire structure is going to also adjust. So that's what's nice about doing a script like this, is that everything will adjust accordingly. And so let's go ahead and unpreview that again, see that we have selected that surface. And what we could do is now offset that curve to the outside, and we could go to B-rep edges. Let's see, B-rep edges. We can go here to B-rep edges and see that if we plug that in, it'll give us the outside line, but we don't really need it, because if we go ahead and just offset it the way it is, it'll actually extract that lines from that surface anyway. And so there we have that line offset to the outside, and we'll give it a range of 0.36. So that'll give me the ability to go from no overhang to 36-inch overhang. And the reason why you want to do that is because when we so I'm going to take this and I hide it, and when we come back and we look at the beams, we'll see that we have the beams here, but we have the ability to create like an overhang to create more of a variety in the structure. And then here on top we can create the rest of the trellis. And so that's going to be the next step, is taking this and extruding it. But let's make sure we go to a boundary surface here. So we go boundary surfaces, and what that does is it'll create a surface around that polyline that we offset. And now we can use that to extrude. So we'll plug that into the base, and we'll go Z in the Z direction. We're going to extrude, and we can say 0.to 12. So that'll be the structure is from 0 to 12, and we can go ahead and hide the rest of the stuff. And we see here that we have a perfect solid on the outside that now we can go ahead and do some contours to create the rest of the and remainder of the structure.